Hey friends, welcome back to the session. So in today's session, I'm planning to walk you through an artificial intelligence concept which is embedded within Oracle Financials. It's one feature which Oracle claims to be a very good artificial intelligence concept. So let's try that one out if it works for us. Okay. For that, the first thing is I want you to know, how does AI really work? AI really works, to keep it very short, AI to work, you need legacy data. Okay. So in very simple layman's language, anything AI or machine learning, it works, will program which people write, they are not having a logic. Okay. In the sense, the logic is automatically constructed by the program looking at the past data. Okay. For example, if you consider AP invoices, there are some distributions in the AP invoice. You can set up configurations in the system to derive the distributions from different places. Okay. But those are rules. But let's say you do not want to write any rules for them, but you still want the AP distribution to get populated based on the previous data, based on what has happened in the past. That sort of thing can be done using Gen concept. And what is AI? AI is basically the application of machine learning. Okay. So do our exercise on this. First thing we need to do is to look at the legacy data. Okay. So I'm going to be looking at payables, invoices. Okay. And then I'm going to query for invoices. Go to advanced. First is I want to query for invoices which are accounted. Okay. So I'll say accounting status, accounted. That's my first filter. Then I'll say invoice date before today. And then I'll say invoice currency because I need US based. So I'm going to select invoice currency as USD. Click on search. Say yes. Okay, so it has given me this. Let me filter with the party or sort it by the party. Basically, I want to find out which party has a lot of data. So if you just scroll through quickly, when semiconductor seems to be having a lot of data, A&M cold storage. Okay, let's use A&M cold storage as an example. Okay, let's query any one of the invoice. It should be invoices, not credit memos. So I'll also put another filter here. Invoice type, standard, search. Okay, so let's go to A&M cold storage. Click on this one. As you can see, this is accounted. Let's go and say edit. Go to the lines, and you can see this distribution. Let's copy that distribution and paste it. Okay, so this is the distribution. Let's also look at the business unit for this. It's CDI Houston Business Unit. Okay, so that's the business unit for us. So let's leverage this and also let's try to create an invoice like this. Let's keep this handy and let's go to duplicate. So when I create, I just want to see if the distribution is automatically getting populated due to some rules. Okay, let's go to create invoices, create invoice, business unit, and so CDI Houston Business Unit, supplier, this one. The date for this is 23. So let's call the invoice number XXG. Okay, make the amount as same 3000 or let's make it 2999. Net 20. We'll make this immediate because this I'm not going to create this invoice. I just want to see something. And I go to line level and I fill the amount. I go to the distribution, I tab out, I come to the distribution combination, and I see that nothing's getting populated at this point, and that is what I need. Okay, so that's why I needed this. So that's good. So cancel this. So we can use this information for our testing purposes. Okay, so let's close this and we'll go here, cancel this. Okay, and expand and put that supplier name also. Copy this, search. Okay, right click, yeah. So also let's take an export of this. So this is our export of the legacy invoices for this supplier. Okay, let's keep this, which are all accounted, which means it has all the distributions. Now let's do our Gen AI related concepts one by one. The very first thing is this particular instance should have application implementation consultant assigned to this user. So let's go and check that. Schedule processes, security console, users, ARTINC. Okay. First thing I want to check is if this user is having application implementation consultant. So you have that role. Okay, that's the very first requirement. So we have met that requirement. So when you add that role, you need to verify after adding that role, run your LDAP program and then come back and see if this option is available. Go to tools, and under tools, you should have AI apps administration. Remember, this should be available. Okay, I'm not going to open it right now in detail, but I'll just quickly open and show you where we are trying to get. So it has things like this. It's called AI apps administration. So you'll have a bunch of things where AI is embedded. Our focus is going to be this AI apps for ERP. And as you can see in this particular instance, it is active. Okay, because it has already been activated. But initially it might be like this. So you have to come and activate that one. So in this instance, it is already active. Okay, so we'll start looking at this one by one. So we have done the first step. So there are some other prerequisites, and we'll be getting into that right now. So the next thing we need to do is go back to our security console. You can close this for now and go to security console. Okay, and we have to create something known as categories, user categories. This one. Okay, so I'm going to create a new category called edit. I'll call it XXG AI. Sorry, category. Okay, let's copy this here and then save it. Once that is done, you have to give a no expiry password over there. So it's still saving it. Okay, go to password policy, edit here. So it is currently showing 90. The maximum allowed is 9999, which means it's not going to expire for these many days. So save that and save it and done. Okay, so you've defined the category as XXG AI category. Let's save this. This is the category we have used. Okay, the next step is to create a role, custom role. Go to roles, click on create role, and the role name also, let's give it something similar to this AI category, AI role. Okay, and this will be BI abstract role. Save this, click on next, next, and next. We have to reach the role hierarchy. Oh, sorry, there should be one more, segregation of duties. Yeah, we have to come to this role. We have to go to the role hierarchy. Okay, and go to this view as table. Yeah, this is what we need. I had a role called BI author, add role membership. The other role is BI publisher, data model developer. Add this, cancel this. You can see the roles are added. Keep going next, next, and then save it. So the custom role is created. Let's go to create a user, add a user account. So remember in the category, we have to select the newly created category. It's XG AI category. Okay. Here the name I'm going to use is XXG AI underscore BIP. Okay. And let's also give a password and save the name. There was also a role, right? Okay. And then click on add role. Look for the role we just created, XXG AI role, add, done. So the role has been added to the user. Save and close. And then go to schedule processes. Schedule new process called import user role. Application security data. Click on that. Submit. I'm going to run two jobs. In fact, after this, I'll also be running the regular LDAP job. Let it keep running. Let's filter with our username. Still running. Let it run. So this job has completed. Now let me run the LDAP job. Go to setup and maintenance and click on run user and role sync process. This is also running. Let's give it a little time. Okay, so the job has now completed. Let's move on to the next steps. So we have created a category, we have created an AI role, and we have created a user, which is this one. Okay. So now let's go to the application and go to tools and select AI apps administration. Okay. So as of now, as you can see that this is showing as active because probably somebody else also worked on this instance, but it will be not active. It will be inactive when you start working on it for the first time. You need to make it active. And then click on this one. And this will show you some connections. Okay, connection strings and payment discounts. So our focus needs to be on connections. Click on connections. Now this, it has multiple connections. Okay, Oracle Financials Cloud. This is basically your. It has to connect to your financials instance and Oracle Business Intelligence. So for our AI based approach, we need to make sure that this is also connected properly. So and this should be with the new username and password which you just created. Okay, so let me edit this, and the username was this one. So internally, this username is having this role, and that role is assigned to this category, right? So paste this. Let's type the password, tab, and then the save button becomes enabled, and click on save. So that is saved, and this will be your regular login with your username password, your financials login. Okay. Now comes this part. So now this is where it actually goes back and refers to the past dates. Now, when I was telling you in the beginning, we have all these different invoices, right? Now, the machine learning or the data science component, what it does is whatever date you give here, and this is going to happen for the first time, it may take some more time. It may take, in fact, a couple of hours when this happens. So, what system does it goes back to the date you specified, and it will try to load the data from that and use the data, past data, to do this analysis, do the training. Basically, it's called training. What is meant by training in machine learning is the models in the back end, they are getting trained with the data to predict the future. Okay, the future segments in this case. So you have to go and say date basically. So you can give some past date. Let's say I'm giving this date as August 1st and say update training data. So now this has become this one. It's got that training date here. Now if you scroll down, previously somebody else might have tried to train it. That's why it's showing you trained here. Okay, but when you do it for the first time, it is not going to be trained. Okay, it'll be not trained. The status here will show not trained. And if you see here, it says the training of a model can take up to 1 to 12 hours, depending on how much the data it is, right? How much of data you need the system to be trained, depending on the date you give here, it may take a long time to be trained. So let's refresh this. Okay, as of now, it's showing you trained, but I think it is quickly training because of the already trained data, or there is no transaction happening. If you submit this, it will take some time to train. And once it is trained, it will give you a report here, just like that report. When you download that report, it will look like this. Now, this report tells you the confidence factor of how much percentage a particular segment will get automatically populated on the code combination ID. Okay. If you scroll down, you will also find a promotion code. Now, this is very important for us to know. You need to keep track of this promotion code. Let's take this and copy this. Okay. And then close it. Once you have the promotion code, go to the hamburger icon and go to My Enterprise. And you have all this, right? So go to My Enterprise and click on Enterprise. Okay. Okay, you'll get this. Click on this called Manage Promotion Codes. And then, see, this one is already there. But if you select this for the first time, because somebody else might have already done this, it says Enter Promotion Code, save this. The intelligent promotion code is already in use. The reason is somebody might have generated that in the past and they would have given you. If that is not done, this will be blank. But once you enter the code, the intelligent document of accounting information, supplier invoices, promotion code, this shows up over here. This is what we want to get to. Okay. Click on done. Now let's go to our setup and maintenance. Go to financials, go to payables, and then select change feature selection. And then if you scroll down, this value, intelligent document account combination defaulting for invoices, this needs to be enabled. In this instance, it is already enabled. Click on this one. Okay. Disable and enable. Click on done. Now let's go back to the application. Okay. And go to payables, go to invoices. Now let's try to create a new invoice for the same supplier. Create invoice. Okay. Let's select the business unit. EDI Houston business unit. Supplier. Let's select the supplier as A&M. Okay. Let's give the, we'll call it AI test. Oh yeah, I think we should not give the word test. AI supplier invoice, because the system will assume it's some kind of test invoice. So let's not do that. AI supplier invoice. Go to the line, copy this select this description and move it to the left. start entering the amount, and then click on this one. Triggered, it's only populating one segment. And see, do you realize that it is showing me yellow colored? This yellow colored option only appears when the artificial intelligence logo, that is the artificial intelligence concept, runs in the background. So I was actually waiting for this yellow color only, but unfortunately in this it's only populating one segment. Okay, it's not, and this guys, it's not, this is not coming from any setup, this is coming from the AI. Ideally I would have expected more segments to be populated, but in this case only one segment is getting populated, but the concept remains the same. I'm going to do some more additional testing to see which particular combination, which particular supplier combination and past data it looks at to populate more such segments. But my expectation is that it should be populating more such segments and not just one. So it has worked, the AI feature has worked, but it is not working the way I expected. Okay, it should be populating more such segments. And this 266, it's not coming from any setup. It is coming because of the AI feature. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you today. Let's reconnect in the next session and let me look at more such features so that I can populate the rest of the segments also.